because in today's world, you're going to be working with people far beyond the borders of your state or country.
Wonderful, thank you.
And you guys touched upon this a little bit already, but when it comes to the world of networking and marketing your skills, athletes, there's a whole pool of networking availabilities. They have their whole teams before them. So as business leaders and entrepreneurs, what advice would you give to students to help them articulate their strengths and knowledge and help them navigate the world and get their athletic abilities forward while sticking to their business side? Nikki?
Yeah, so just to reiterate what Jerry had said earlier, I'm just interested in hiring anyone who's been a successful Division I varsity athlete and a stellar school at the same time. So that is without question. If I'm looking at interns or what have you, there are a couple key factors in the hiring process that I look for. And remember, I'm looking for a unique individual in terms of someone who wants to get into the world of sales. Human connection is the biggest thing. So being able to carry a conversation, being confident in that conversation, showing your kind of true, authentic personality, that is really critical to me. So definitely be who you are. You'll find that if you have that connection with that other person, just like I had with Jerry's brother, Rich, and our executive vice president, Kurt, at the time, I just knew that is what would bring me into the fold of a new opportunity. The other things I really look for is self-awareness. So I think this is something that is, in my opinion, it's the single biggest, most important thing, criteria for hiring somebody, is just somebody being really self-aware of how they sound, because I'm going to be putting them in front of customers. And so to me, having some awareness of your strengths, your weaknesses, like what you could improve on, like Jerry said before, like being confident and sharing in what your career or your career at UVM looked like, but not, sharing every detail of every single game you've ever played. Just having that self-awareness is super critical. And then my other piece in the sales world is just having social intelligence. So a high emotional IQ and being able to read people, being genuinely interested in other people and what they have to say, knowing kind of where to lean in and where to pull back. Those are really critical components. And I think asking for the opportunity, like I mentioned before, to learn, and the chance to be mentored and the chance to prove yourself. Like I was relentless with my very first manager and boss that I had out of college. I mean, this is another thing I just want to mention too, because I think it's really good to, set your expectations going in, especially post-COVID world. But, I came out of school and I accepted a $28,000 salary. I think that this is a really important piece for this millennial generation to understand. Today, I had a $28K salary, and then I had to earn my keep in a revenue generating world. And I had unlimited income that I could earn based on my performance. And that was something that really worked for me as an athlete, because I was used to kind of getting rewarded for what I produced. And so I think that that's a really important piece, that one, you set your expectations as to what the real world looks like, and that it shouldn't be I need to be in a livable wage. It's that you have to earn the respect, and you need to prove yourself, and you need to be ready to be mentored and coached just like you were on the field. You going in and pretending as if you know everything out of the gate is like not going to get you very far. It's being open, it's being eager, it's being willing to learn, and also setting yourself up where you're doing a lot of the work, and then you're going to your mentors and your bosses and asking for help when you need it. But it's really showing a lot of initiative. So that's what I would say. That's how you kind of should successfully navigate the world of work and explore job opportunities.
Great, thank you.
I couldn't say it any better. I have nothing else to add. That's great. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
So on the side of networking, what modes do you guys look for most when you're looking to recruit people or somebody's trying to connect with you?
Jared, do you have them?
No, you're closer to that than I am. I think you better answer it.
I know. It's like so it's hard for me because, okay, so actually I've got a couple of things. So first of all, always do your research, and always know, so I've done a bunch of speaking panels. I'm speaking in a women's and tech conference, like one of the biggest global virtual conferences this June. And so participating in those kind of things, and then having a question and following up on it, having something that's really relevant, a relevant reason. It's not just self-interested to reach out to that individual. That goes a long way for me when someone's trying to kind of network and build kind of their portfolio or their connections that they have. Believe it or not, even being in sales and being an incredibly social human being, the networking side of it for me is not an area I totally leaned into right out of the gate. I worked really hard to find the right company for me, and then I got quite lucky because that's how this stuff works. And I had an amazing mentor and boss that I leaned into super hard, and I was with that company for 7 years. And what happened for me is I sold for the first 3 years, and then my boss and mentor left and moved to Kentucky, and I was devastated. And my mentors all around me, which was this major community, and mainly men, which was amazing for me, that they really mentored and supported me. And they gave me her job at the ripe old age of 24 years old. And I was kicked in the teeth more than I can even explain to you guys, punched in the face. It's like beyond good learning to get in and even be doing something so early that you're not ready for. My dad called me grasshopper quite a bit in those days, and I just kept like one punch after another, and I learned. I lost my biggest client. I made a client even bigger than the client that I lost. Actually, the client that we lost was UVM, and then I gained the state of Vermont, which was huge. And I just learned so much during that time. And what that helped me do was, being willing to learn and take my nicks really early on, and I'm still taking them now. It put me in a position where I felt comfortable enough to do the networking, and it's where it led me over to Jerry and the team at My Web Grocer. I was ready for a little bit of change, and after 7 years, I'm a loyalist. I like bleed the company that I am a part of, and I was ready to do kind of some of the networking, and that's kind of connecting with people in your area, and I got connected with Kurt, and then was there for 4 years. And then it was something similar when I decided to leave My Web for Mamava. I had 4 years with the team there and loved my team that I built and the company that I worked for. But my life had changed in a meaningful way, and having my first baby, and I actually opened myself up to some networking opportunities, which is when, the lead investment firm asked me to come and help run the business and build the business at Mamava. So you have to just open yourself up to new opportunities, even if it's not natural, but just lean in where you can, and always and never stop learning from your previous experiences.
Great. Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have just 2 questions to close things out. And again, thank you both so much for just everything you're sharing. It's fantastic and really helpful for us as a career center, and then also for students and student athletes. So in terms of leaving us today, just maybe one kernel of wisdom that you want to leave college athletes with today, that if you haven't already said, any recommendations, we're all ears.
Jerry, you go first.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I think I would say, especially in today's day and age, and Nikki alluded to it with, having children millennial age and kind of counseling them a lot on it. But this, Nikki said it the way a little bit differently, but the exact same intent is earn it. Like if you go in and talk with an employer and you kind of say that, listen, I don't expect anything to be handed to me. I expect to have to work hard to earn it. And the reason I can do that is because I've already been trained that way. I'm an athlete. I've been playing sports at this high level. I had to earn everything to get my ice time or get my field time. I think that's what people and people like me really like to hear, because we do find it, and I could almost hear in Nikkie's voice a little bit of probably some of her experiences hiring certain people, like right away, as soon as they get in week 2, they're asking for something. No. You get in there and you work so hard that you become invaluable to that company. And then if you're working for a good company, they'll just be offering you stuff. They want to keep you so badly. But if you become a pain in the butt early on, it's just not the way that you're going to grow in an organization. But you will be well respected, just like you are on a team. If you're taking the heavy jobs and you're leading the way, and you're getting up at those 6 a.m.s and first to work out and always there, the coaches look at that and they respect it. It's the same as a superior. They're going to respect it. So I think my advice would be a term my father used to use all the time, and it leads into what Nikki said, is the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I think that would be my kernel of advice. And my kids have heard me say it a million times. The right attitude, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I
like it.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
So
and Nikki, anything to add from your side?
Yeah, here's what I don't think you can. All right, I guess I'll start with, I think you can convert your passion for your sport and that you have on the field into a career. So just know that can happen for you, and you need to take your opportunities and you need to look for them, but never stop looking for it. And then once you find it, just hold on to it and commit yourself to it, just as you've committed yourself to your sport and your game. For me, yes, it's been the world of business, but to getting to something that's been my passion that I feel like I've found today is this, and I didn't know I had. I mean, my first career was with a Fortune 500 company, publicly traded. We sold to a huge Japanese company that was traded on the Nikkei. Then I went over with Jerry and team to my web, and we were a sizable business when I went there, and then we were like riding a rocket ship through my 4 years there. It was 100 people to 450 really, really quickly. And now I found this entrepreneurial start from scratch. I'm taking out the trash and vacuuming the floors and building that from nothing into something. And it is like the most rewarding thing, and doing it for a mission that I couldn't believe in more. And I'm currently experiencing in my life is being a new mom. And so, just know that you can take all these skills and keep looking for that passion and what drives you and apply it in everything. It will get you to where you want to go. It definitely will.